What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I am that guy. We are done with our second 2023 Honda CRF250F build. This one is done with a Force Cam 310cc big bore kit with the Rally camshaft. This video series will be put together in two parts. This first part is something I had missed with mine, which is the heavy duty clutch and the springs as well as the front sprocket. So let's dive straight into this. So first up here, we are going to go ahead and replace this front sprocket. Now, just go ahead and you are going to loosen these two bolts up here, and then you will have a retainer on the very end of it here. Do not lose that. You will want to make sure this is a great opportunity for you to go ahead and get everything cleaned back off. Go ahead and we will take our new front sprocket. This is the 12 tooth that we had got with our kit from Force Cam. We're going to go ahead and take this opportunity to go ahead and clean and wipe down some of this stuff before we put it back on here. Now once you're done cleaning everything out, do remember, as far as the that retainer there for what your front sprocket will bolt to, that this is a free floating sprocket. Okay, I've seen a lot of people have asked about, as far as, you know, it not lining back up when replacing the sprockets. So just remember, this is free floating. So when this goes on, all right, it is going to sit right there in that open groove. As soon as you get it over, as far as your first set of threads, it is going to be free floating there, and it's going to pull the sprocket to it. All right. And also, I do have, as far as the torque specs, listed in the community section on the channel. All right, you guys may have to scroll down to probably about say 8 months to a year ago. I don't post too much on that community section, so you shouldn't have to go too far down. But I do have those torque specs there. Now, we did also replace the chain with a DID Gold. We're running a 48 tooth in the rear with the 12 tooth up front. So once you guys get your chain and all put back on, you will officially be done as far as your front sprocket swap. Now moving on to the actual heavy duty clutch kit. All right, so as far as your rear brake, you'll go ahead and you'll want to undo those two 8mm, as well as your rear brake. You do have a nut right there on the back side of that, or excuse me, a bolt. You'll want to go ahead and remove that as well. That will just give you guys easier access on getting that case cover off. I like to put the bolts back, that way it's just less I've got sitting around on my table. Just give it a little wiggle back and forth. It will actually finally pop out. You can pull your pin out, and this would be a great time to go ahead and get that cleaned off and get it greased back up before you put it all back together as well. Next, we'll go ahead and break all of your 8mm case bolts off. Don't break them off, just loosen those up. Also, it'll be a lot easier just to get to the line there, your clutch cable line, if you just go ahead and take that frame guard off. So while we are speeding through this right here, not to bore you guys too much, I'll give you guys kind of a little bit of a insight here on our part 2 that will be coming up very soon on this. That will include the entire build from start to finish of the entire build. And as well as the tuning of the bike, which ended up being very quick, but it'll give you guys the general basics as well for that Athlon full ECU and what's really needed to get you dialed in. Also, we have a little sit-down quick review, so you won't want to miss that as well. We do plan on taking also the rides, like I had mentioned before. We will be doing a ride putting the 275 race versus the 310 rally, as well as the 250X versus this 310 rally. So once you have all those taken off, go ahead and disconnect your clutch cable right there, and then you should be able to freely take the case off. Go ahead and loosen up your 10 millimeters around your clutch. You have 5 of them bad boys. Once you've done that, you can take your cover off, and then you can slide your entire clutch and the plates out all at one time, your disc and your plates. Now, right here, please pay attention because you cannot reinstall this heavy-duty clutch kit with these judder springs in there. Then you can reinstall as far as your discs and your plates. This clutch kit right here is also OEM Honda. It is genuine, just a heavy duty clutch that they offer with these bikes. So once you get everything reseated back on here, you'll be swapping out your stock springs with the heavy duty springs, which when you go to bolt it back up, these are the green springs in their own individual bags that you will get with your heavy duty clutch kit from ForceCam. Once you've swapped those all over, go ahead and get ready to bolt her back up. Now, torquing this thing back down, of course, to torque specs, and I do, again, have everything listed in the community section of the channel as far as the torque specs. I think there's about 3 or 4 screenshots. If I am mistaken, somebody can correct me, but I know that they're up there, but I believe all your torque specs that you'll need are on there. Now, moving back into reinstalling this case, okay? Right here in the middle, you'll see right there it pivots where your clutch cable goes. There's a completely closed and a completely open position. Make sure that it is open when you're sliding the case back on, and you can slowly start to close it as you are putting it on and sliding it up. Otherwise, when you attach that clutch cable, your clutch will not be engaging. It'll probably be floppy and loose. And of course, you can adjust from there once you do have it properly seated. I believe with this one, we did end up making a few adjustments just to tighten the clutch cable up just a hair. But other than that, that was really it. That was all that was needed. But there we are, guys. I know I had missed it on my 275. We're going ahead and putting everything back together now. Make sure that when you guys put this case back on and your bolts, you're tightening everything back up. You are please crisscross patterning. Do not break a bolt. Trust me, 275, I learned big time. Slow down, take your time. Be on the lookout for part 2, which is going to have this entire install for the actual performance side of things. So you don't want to miss that. It'll go over as far as the valve clearances, the tuning of the ECU, all that fun stuff. And you guys will see in the very end the comparison as we talk about the differences of what we have noticed. But I appreciate you guys as always. Stay tuned. We'll catch you guys on the next go around. See ya.